Hi, this is Wolf with Mythic Guitar Company, and I wanted to answer a few questions that we've had about how to order a custom guitar. Now, the thing is, these are production models, these are not custom shop. So there are only so many things that you can do with this particular guitar before I send you to the custom shop to have something done completely separately and individually, and it's not going to be this price point. So these are production guitars. So you're not going to be able to change the neck. You're not going to be able to, or like the radiuses and this and that. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things that you would be able to do with a custom shop guitar. These are manufactured in-house as is as a production guitar. With that said, you have the option of a rush fee or a no rush. Now, if you opt to do a rush fee, then you're going to be put at the end of the rush queue, which there are other people in the rush queue. So pickup sound options, basically you have a vintage sound, a modern sound, or a metal sound, and that gives us an idea of what pickups that you want and what we should put in your guitar, given the models that we have. Now the thing is, we choose pickups as per what is available at the time at our discretion. Um, more or less, we will choose the pickups for you, and they will be awesome. They will be good. You'll love the sound. They will be consistent, and they will, basically sound like one of those three things. If you want custom pickups, you want a very specific pickup, then that's a custom shop thing, not a production model thing. Now you can choose any of these things, the configurations for the pickups. You can choose your pickguard color. You can choose what string gauge. Now the only thing that would negate the string gauge, let's say you want 9.5s, then you go to E standard, that would work well. Now let's say you do 9.5 and you want A standard, that is absolutely not going to work. So you may have to go to 12s or more. So we don't expect you to understand, or not that you wouldn't understand this, but we don't expect you to know this just inherently. So we will, update accordingly, biased on this versus this. So regardless of what this says, whatever this says is what we're going to go by over this. Now the thing is too, if you want a custom set, a custom tuning, you go here. You tell us each string what you want that tuning to be. This is for alternate tunings, this is for any kind of an open tuning, etc. You tell us what that is, and then we will figure out specifically what gauges of strings need to go on that guitar to make it balanced across the neck. We go with string joy so we can actually literally make a balanced set for this guitar. Now what this means, this extra $50, means that we are doing that research. We were figuring out which string to use, what gauge string to use, and we were setting up the guitar. We're filing the nut for the right size, and we are setting up the intonation, the action, the truss rod, and everything else for this specific tuning, and that's what that extra $50 is for. If you want locking tuners, we are using Diodario Planet Wave self-cutting, auto-cutting tuners. They literally cut the end off of the string for you. I love them, and I put them on everything. That's what we're using at the moment. Vintage is like the old school 60s, 50s stuff, and the standard would be, what you get on any F-style guitar that's not a locking. Brand may vary. We basically get what we get, and whatever is in stock, whatever is the best price at the time. We don't, guarantee a certain specific brand at this time. Necks. So here's all the different options for the necks. And you can do maple, macassar, maple, rosewood, maple, maple. The thing about rosewood is if you're out of the country, we may not be able to ship you rosewood. So it would be a rosewood-like thing, but you may or may not, get rosewood depending on where we're shipping the guitar. That's just how it is. That's the disclaimer. If you want poly, you can do whatever color you want here. We try to keep it fairly limited because we have to buy gallons of this stuff at a time, and if we're not using it, it just sits around and it goes bad, and that's a lot of money that we waste. We don't produce tons and tons and tons of guitars, so we can't have 50-gallon, things of paint going bad. So we keep it limited, and every year we will change the colors to different things. Like if we don't sell a lot of orange, we're going to get rid of the orange. We'll put something else up next year. That'd be cool. And do a lot of metallic stuff. but right now, at this moment, as I'm recording this, this is what the available colors are, with some exceptions. I'm actually going to change some of these, so ignore what these say right now. Now, if you want a custom color, you click that, and what this $500 gets you is a lot of research and buying a big jug of paint to paint one guitar. Now, when you click custom color, see versus this, a little screen or a little window thing here pops up, and basically what you need to do is go to Google, find images that you like, put the link to the image here, as many of them as you can, and say I want something close to this, and we will do our best to match it. The absolute best thing to do would be to go to a PPG and go to an auto paint store, like one of the places that a body shop goes to get their car paint, and find the exact year, make, and model of the car, or find the paint code from PPG or something like that, to get that exact paint code or the mix or whatever it is that they can give you that'll help us mix that exact color. You can also go to Sherwin-Williams, you can go to Home Depot, you can find something there that you like. We don't use Sherwin-Williams or Home Depot paint. We use Clements and some other things that are way higher quality than what you would get at those stores. But you can send us a paint chip, literally mail it to us, or tell us what it is, and we can go find one locally, and we can try to mix that as best as possible. Now, the only caveat to this is, if you find a color that you like on your phone, it's not going to look the same as your computer. It's not going to look the same on any computer, any monitor, any other phone. It's not going to look the same. So what we see is not going to be what you see when you're sending it. So all we can do is get close. We can get close enough. We can probably get it pretty close, but unless we have an actual paint code that we can cross-reference against our stuff, we're basically getting it mixed by eye, and we can get 90 to 95% of the way, but it may or may not be exact. That's the disclaimer, and don't get mad at us if it's not the exact color that you saw on your screen. Okay, with that said, let's say you want nitro. There are only so many colors that we can do with nitro, and the other thing that you need to know is that once everything is done to the body of your guitar and it's ready to be painted, we paint several layers of nitro, and we paint several more layers of clear coat. One layer, wait an hour, one layer, wait an hour, or if not days at some point. And then we're spraying 20 or 30 layers of clear coat on top of this. Then, once that's done, it's going to take another 6 to 8 weeks for the nitro to cure enough for us to start buffing it. So basically, by adding nitro, you're adding 2 or 3 months to your build. I'll let you know that right now. That's not going to change. If nothing else, it's going to get worse as we get more and more orders. But with that said, if you want nitro, you have to have nitro. Then you go here to this page, you find which one you want. We don't use the spray cans, we use the actual these. So figure out what color you want. Let's say you want Fiesta Red, and go to Fiesta Red. It actually doesn't, okay, there. And then you take that link, copy it, move it over there. This is the color that I want, and then we paint your guitar that color, because that is our nitrocellulose lacquer supplier. You can see the actual colors from the supplier. We cannot get anything else but that. That is the only colors that we have nitro. Now, relic is also an option for nitro only. You cannot get relic in poly because it's hard as a rock, it's impossible to do. So light relic, you're thinking, micro abrasions, things like that. Medium relic, there's some, you can see wood underneath it. Heavy relic is like, a very heavy relic. And apocalypse guitar, think about nails and staples and like all kinds of crazy shit. And basically looks like something that survived a nuclear holocaust. And that's kind of where we're at with that. So then you add that to the cart, and then it goes over your options, and then you come down here, proceed to checkout, and you pay. So that's pretty much that. I'm going to show you how to do financing in the next video. Thank you.